The standard of care is the only appropriate yardstick by which to judge the performance of a professional services provider. And the concept of standard of care, which focuses on how well they are doing the work while they're doing it, tends to be the opposite of a warranty or a guarantee, which is more focused on the end result, on the final product, and whether or not you have a good outcome. Think about it this way. If you went to a doctor, say that you had a knee surgery planned, and you said, "Doctor, I want you to guarantee it's going to be a successful surgery," probably the doctor's going to throw you out of his office. And I know that if you were to come to me and say, "Jeremy, I need you to litigate this case for me, and I want you to guarantee me you're going to win at trial," I'm going to send you packing. And it's no different with architects and engineers, because they are fundamentally incapable of guaranteeing a good outcome for a variety of good reasons. One is that between every design and every finished project, there is a contractor, and a design professional only has so much ability to affect the outcome of the project, because even if their design is very high quality, even if it meets the standard of care, there are many ways for the contractor to fall down on their obligations, and for the real estate developer or the project owner that hired the design professional to be dissatisfied at the end. So an architect or an engineer is no more capable of guaranteeing that an owner or real estate developer is going to be happy with their project than a doctor can guarantee that the surgery is going to work out perfectly, or that a lawyer can guarantee that they're going to win at trial. There are other more nuanced reasons too, and it has to do with the fact that design professionals deal with difficult things which are incapable of precise measurement. There are judgment calls that go into being a design professional that I think a lot of people in design and construction may not fully appreciate. Take, for example, an historic building in downtown Chicago that has areas for ingress and egress, and a facade that can't be touched because it is an historical landmark, or there's some other preservation related reason where you're simply not able to change the design of certain parts of the outside of the building. The existing means of ingress and egress may not be compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. They may not be compliant with the current standards which provide for accessibility to these places for disabled people. And so what do you do if you're an architect? You can't necessarily serve both ends. You cannot ignore the outside of the building and thereby violate the ADA with your design. And you can't go ahead and tear up the outside of the building in order to ensure that the design is capable of complying with the ADA. So what do you do if you're a design professional? You exercise judgment consistent with the standard of care in order to figure out the best way to navigate these difficult decisions. And so when people say in a contract, "I want my architect to guarantee that their design is going to comply with anything in particular, whether it's an accessibility regulation or otherwise," it's simply unrealistic, because design professionals are not able to guarantee outcomes. And that is why the only appropriate yardstick to judge the quality of the work that a design professional does is the standard of care, which doesn't focus on the outcome, it doesn't focus on the end product, it focuses on the issue of whether or not the design professional met the prevailing standards of quality as they were going through the design process in order to navigate all these judgment calls, in order to deal with these things which may not be capable of precise definition, they may not be capable of solving in the way that you would a mathematical equation.